Hello, you. It's me. And I don't know, I'm feeling kind of down and out today. Or this morning. I don't know, it's early. It's like, I can't even see the time. I need to get some new glasses. It's after 2. I know that much. Anyway, 2 a.m. I've been, perusing the internets, looking at different channels, seeing what they had to say about Gypsy and what's going on. A lot of people are talking about her new haircut. This is a picture of it here. I couldn't give 2 shits about her haircut. I'm just thinking about the child. And I say that because watching, you know how they show clips, the preview clips, the trailer for the new series that comes out, well, later today. There was a clip that I saw where it was showing Gypsy standing by a door, and she had one of those, do they call it kangaroo pouches? I don't know what they call it, but she had one. It's like a little carrier for a baby, and it looked like a live little baby inside against her. And it also, when she looked down at the baby, it looked like she was screaming, "Get it off me, get it off me," but she's just looking down at the baby and then talking to Ken. And I think there really is a baby, and that makes me incredibly sad. Because it's one thing to speculate and speculation can be fun. Oh, I wonder if this is happening. I wonder if that's happening. Ooh, if this were true, then this and this could also be true, etc., right? And it could be fun to speculate. But it looked like there was a real baby there. Now, is it Aurora? We can only assume. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's a stunt baby for all I know. But seeing that there is a real possibility of this baby being real just made me incredibly sad. Because Gypsy, what has she done for this baby? Except for run away from it. It really is to the point where she wanted to be pregnant. She planned to get pregnant. But the pregnancy is over, and so she's done. That's it. Who was it? I think it was Night Convos that said that she is playing with Aurora like playing with a doll, dressing her up in cute little outfits and so forth, and then putting her down when she's done. And it really is like that. And that makes me so sad. Especially with the possible news, allegedly, that the child is ill and Gypsy's not taking that seriously. Gypsy's mother, Dee Dee, took it seriously. Gypsy was sick. Gypsy did have operations. She had a feeding tube put in because she had digestive issues. She had trouble with her eyesight. There's a lot of reasons why she had the surgery she did. And they weren't for false reasons. They were because of her microdeletion thing. But is she going to do that much for Aurora? Is she, I mean, Raina, Ken's mother, did say that they were taking the baby to the doctor once a week. That does definitely seem like a sick child, or at least a child who is in danger and needs to be looked at constantly. I did have the theory that maybe she's not taking the baby to a doctor, she's taking the baby to maybe a doctor's office to see CPS just to prove the baby's still alive. CPS, when you have committed a crime that she has, CPS is supposed to step in immediately and assess the situation continuously. And I don't know if they've done that. But the weekly visits to the doctor could be maybe part of that, or it could be that Aurora has the microdeletion issue that Gypsy has, which means that depending on how it affects her, she could be a very sick little girl. And it makes me so sick that Gypsy is really doing the opposite of what her mother did. Her mother cared for her, doted on her. Yes, she committed fraud to give her child all the weekend getaways and Disneyland trips and so forth that she couldn't afford to do on her own. And yes, she did steal and taught Gypsy to steal. And yes, Dee Dee did teach Gypsy how to speak in public so that people would think she's so cute and so sweet and so innocent. Her mother taught her those things. Not great things. But the one thing that I guess never quite got through to Gypsy is a mother's love. Because her mother did all those things for Gypsy, to give her the best life she could. And this is only my speculation. This is allegedly whatever. My thoughts are that maybe Dee Dee, because Gypsy named off like 10 or 11 different health issues that Dee Dee had before she was unfortunately murdered. Which means that maybe Gypsy's mother couldn't take care of Gypsy and be there for her in the same way that she had been when she was younger. And maybe that's why Gypsy got rid of her. Because she wouldn't come at her beck and call because she was ill. Because Gypsy needed to take care of Dee Dee for a change. And she didn't want to bother with it. Now again, that's just my opinion. There is nothing that I have seen that would say that that is factual. It's just a feeling I get. But maybe she didn't want to wait until her mother died naturally. And she just got rid of her because she was a burden. Again, that is just my thoughts on the subject. That's what it's my guess. But Gypsy saw her mother as a burden. The way that Gypsy talks about her child is in the same way. She doesn't talk about her child like a mother. That's my opinion. I'm entitled to have my opinion. You can disagree, and it's okay. There are people who have let me know that they absolutely disagree and that what I say makes them sick because Gypsy was so abused and I don't know her story, etc. But that doesn't matter. At this point, I don't believe she was anything but spoiled. I'm not saying, again, her mother was perfect. But she did really love Gypsy. I believe that wholeheartedly. And I believe that Gypsy just got sick of her and got rid of her. In my opinion. So again, we turn to Aurora. Gypsy seems to be going out of her way to get out of the way of this child. And I believe even her father, Rod, said, now's not the time to have a child. I don't want to have to raise the child for you. But what's happening? Christy and Rod are raising this baby I mean, obviously, Gypsy didn't take the baby with her to LA. I haven't seen any pictures of the baby having fun. Going to Disneyland, you know. I mean, at 2 months old, I don't know. You probably don't know much of what's going on. But, you know, it's the thought that counts. And it's pictures that you can share with a child later in life saying, oh, this is the first time that you tasted a Mickey ice cream. You know, things like that. You can share the memories with them later in life. But Gypsy isn't making these kind of memories that I can see. Again, we don't see everything, and I get that. I understand that. But she seems so disconnected from this baby. She doesn't seem to want the baby. The only reason why she wants the baby around is so that people will see her in a different light. The child is literally being treated like an accessory. And I hate that. I would imagine a lot of people don't like that. But that's how she's treating her child. She's not nurturing that child. If she were, she wouldn't be going out all the time. Leaving the child with Christy, obviously. Leaving the child with family and going out and doing all these things. All she talks about is going out and doing things or buying things or traveling. And I get it. She's had a taste of, you know, the high life. But doesn't she want to share that with her child? It just makes me so sad. This child if this child has health issues like Gypsy did when she was a baby and up, her mother had to be on it 24/7 to make sure that she's okay. And obviously, she's still alive. But is Gypsy going to make those same sacrifices for Aurora? Because I don't think it's in her. I really don't. I don't think it's in her. And I know that paternity is coming up over and over again. I thought it was already proven that Ken was the father. And now they're saying it could be Ryan. Whatever. Who cares? Ryan is clinging on desperately to his 15 minutes of fame, which I think had been gone about 15 minutes ago. If Ken finds out that Aurora is not his, I would imagine he'd just bounce. He'd be done. He'd be over with it. I don't think that's going to happen, but who the fuck knows, honestly. They throw out all these things to get you to watch the show. That's what they're trying to do. They throw out all these divisive, is this happening? Is that happening? Literally so that you'll watch the show. I'm not going to watch it. I will listen to other people talk about it. I'm not going to watch it. I don't care that much. The only thing I really care about at this point is the baby. Because that baby is being treated badly. The mother doesn't care. Dee Dee cared about Gypsy. Gypsy is doing the opposite, just like she said. And she doesn't give two fucks about Aurora. Again, my opinion. But isn't that what it looks like? I'm sorry, the baby is only a couple months old and you're just traveling and doing all these things, having a great time, giggling, putting on that phony face so that everybody thinks you're perfect and wonderful. You're not, Gypsy. You're not perfect. You're not wonderful. And you are a monster. There's no denying it. The only problem is that it hasn't been wrangled in yet. She hasn't taken responsibility or accountability for anything bad that she's done. And, excuse me, all she's putting out into the public is, look at how great I am, look at how great I'm doing, look at how skinny I am. Seriously? Not anything about Aurora except for crap that I don't even believe. Ken seems to know more about Aurora, and Aurora seems, from their stories, seems to be responding to Ken a lot more than Gypsy. Gypsy is nothing. Look at the blankness and hatred in her eyes. You can see it. She has kind of a smug look on her face. She cares about no one but her, in my opinion. This poor child is going to suffer. Is already suffering. And somebody, I hope, steps in. Either Ken takes full custody and drops Gypsy like a piece of garbage that she is. I hate to think of Christy and Rod having to take care of this child, because it's something that they just didn't want, although they might do, because they've probably bonded over this child way more than Gypsy has. There's nothing. There's no bond. She literally looked like she wanted to knock her baby off her body. It just is it reminds me of people who get a pet, like a rabbit, for Easter. And then when the rabbit starts to get bigger and less convenient, they just throw it away. They put it in a pound, or they give it away, or they just let it free, because, I mean, it's a wild creature anyway, right? And just no thought to it at all. You know, oh, I got a cute little kitten. And then when the kitten turns into a cat, oh, it's not cute anymore. And then they just dump it somewhere. Dump the poor little kitten somewhere. Dump the poor cat in the pound. You know, just get rid of it, because they don't care about it anymore. We've seen evidence of this with her doing this with her dog Pixie, who she just desperately needed and wanted, and then left with Ryan. No feeling whatsoever. Nothing. She felt nothing. It amazes me. It's shocking. But you can see, it's palpable. There's no connection at all. Now, could this change over time? Yeah, it could. I would hope so. But she just doesn't give a shit about her own child. I don't get it. She laughs because the baby was snorting, making funny noises, which is apparently a very clear sign of breathing issues, and she had sleep apnea when she was an infant, so her infant could also have sleep apnea, which could result in SIDS. It's shocking to me. It's shocking to me. And I just am so concerned for this child. I don't know. A lot of people are bringing up Casey Anthony, who's, gotten big. And I can't even go into it because I'll get really upset. I'm already really upset. But could Gypsy do something similar with mysterious circumstances that nobody can quite pinpoint? Yeah, I think she can. And it just makes me ill. It's keeping me up tonight. I don't, it's so strange because I don't know her. I don't know her family. I don't know this baby. Why do I care? But honestly, it's because this is a new little life, regardless of where it comes from. It's a new little life with potential to grow and become an amazing person. Even if it's a person I never meet for my entire life. It doesn't matter. I like having good people in the world, and I like having good families who nurture and cherish their children. And I don't see her doing that. She'll do it for the cameras, I'm sure. But when the cameras turn off, and they will turn off soon, what's going to happen to that child then? I know that they've talked about a wedding special, so that's the last thing that could occur that would keep her in the public eye. I hope it never happens. I don't think Ken's a great guy either. I don't think he should have custody of that child, but he seems far more interested and attached than Gypsy. I'll give him that. But oh my God, seeing that little body moving about, just a whole flooding of holy shit, that child is in danger and needs to be taken away, or at least taken away from Gypsy. My opinion, but it's a very strong one. I feel like when the lights are turned off, when nobody cares anymore about Gypsy, Gypsy's not going to care about that child. Who knows, maybe she'll just give it to Ken like she gave Pixie to Ryan. I don't think she doesn't seem to have connection to anything, so cutting off somebody I don't think would even faze her. That could happen. That would be probably the better scenario. I don't know. I mean, this whole thing just keeps me guessing, and it's not just because of all the crap they're trying to throw out so that people will watch the show. It's just all crap. They're all liars. They're all not good people. And it makes me so sad that this new little baby is in this family and will not have a chance to grow and flourish into the person that she should be. Who knows? But it just makes me sad. Anyway, that's all I got to say.